Enhancement Consulting, giving you a big and beautiful shout out here in Honolulu, Hawaii. For those of you not checked in with us the past week, month or so, a little background for the past, it's been since 2004, I've been helping people transform their lives using energy healing, meditation, and practical spirituality. And I was thinking of a topic that we kind of see throughout the landscape of marketing. And I've been in marketing and sales for over 20 years. And I'm always thinking to myself, they got me again, they got me again, they got me again. And I'm thinking, well, what is happening energetically to get entangled in some kind of ad, some kind of promotion, some kind of news story, especially all the stuff that's been going on recently with the 2024 presidential election. A big factor, or a big part of it, is the chakra that is most stimulated for most people most of the time is the solar plexus chakra. The solar plexus chakra is located, which is kind of funny. If you knew where I am right now in Honolulu, it would make even more sense to you. But whichever chakra is most activated within your system, that is what is magnetized to draw similar energies to it. So for instance, if your heart chakra is super activated in relationship to the rest of your chakras, what's going to happen? You are going to attract things that mirror that energy. So love, sweetness, intimacy, kindness, compassion. Makes sense, right? Now, if you shift from the heart chakra and you go a little bit lower into the solar plexus chakra, which that's the center of lower negative emotions and lower positive emotions. The lower negative emotions are fear, stress, anxiety, anger, and the lower positive emotions are ambition, drive, perseverance, the willingness to move forward, to make things happen. So it's a good chakra, but it depends on how it's stimulated and what's inside of it. So if you have a lot of stress energy and it's stimulated, what are you going to experience more of? More stress. If it's clean and healthy and it's stimulated, what are you going to experience more of? Ambition, drive, perseverance, moving through obstacles, right? So the way most marketing works is about stimulating the lower chakras of a person. Solar plexus, sex chakra, and basic chakra. Meaning, if we talk about gaining more power or losing power, people listen. If we talk about having more high quality sex, people listen. If we learn about or listen about how to make more money and not lose money, we listen. Those are the chakras that are connected most to physical life, for instance. But if you talk about bliss, if you talk about peace, if you talk about expansion of consciousness, the upper chakras for most people in the world are not super activated and super developed. So literally, their consciousness cannot tap into those vibrational waves, all right, that kind of energy. Hey, I'm Namaste, how are you? We're talking about clickbait and the chakras. What happens when people do clickbait online, and what happens to the energy body, or what happens to the chakras, which I don't recommend, right? So what does this all boil down to? It boils down to awareness. Awareness of, like, right before you click on a story, you click on an article, you listen to a podcast, you watch a TV show, what is it that you're tapping into? Are you tapping into the lower nature of yourself, the solar plexus, the sex, or the basic? Or are you tapping into the higher aspects of yourself, such as the heart, the throat, the ajna, the forehead, or the crown? And again, it's not a judgment call if people are more attracted to lower vibrational energies. It's what we are most accustomed to doing. It's what we are most accustomed to experiencing in our day-to-day lives. And I kind of give the example, you guys may have seen this. I love kittens. I love bunnies. I love anything small and cute. Babies, especially toddlers, because I think they're hysterical. If you put in a video of those kinds of things online, it stimulates certain chakras within a person's system, and they go, oh my God, that's so cute, that's so adorable, and it gets millions of views. But if you have a great, great spiritual teacher talking about the soul, talking about transforming lower energies into higher energies, if you're talking about alchemy, sacred geometry, meditation, very subtle, very refined things, most people, I'm a Namaste Avery, I'm a Namaste Brian, this man's teeth are a train wreck. I love it, thanks for the feedback. Oh, I appreciate it. So most of us vibrate with lower, denser energies as opposed to going to higher vibrational energies, right? Because we're not used to experiencing that on a day-to-day basis. So my encouragement to each and every one of you that are watching, if not yellow, my encouragement to each and every one of you who are watching is, again, be aware. My teacher, Grandmaster Choa Koksui, the modern founder of Pranic Healing and Arhatic Yoga, said, without awareness, there's no inner transformation. And so how does one gain awareness? By being still, like not moving their body, and noticing, what am I thinking right now? What am I feeling right now? What do I want to do or not do with my body? And in the process of being still and being aware, we can start tapping into, okay, this is maybe not the best energy for my system. It's not uplifting, it's not encouraging, it's not inspiring. It's more something that drags me down. So another thing to think about, when we eat, eating keeps the physical body alive, right? So there are many, many different news shows, television shows, Instagram pages, YouTube channels that talk about food, right? Which is connected to the physical body. And there's millions and millions of people that can relate to that experience. There's millions and millions of people that can relate to sex. There's millions and millions of people that can relate to making more money. Rodolfo, namaste. How are you? We can relate to all these different things, right? But what we have a harder time relating to are the more subtle, more refined vibrational energies like we were talking about earlier, from the heart chakra, throat chakra, ajna, forehead, crown, and beyond. So it's really quite fascinating. That's why it's so easy to manipulate the masses, because the masses vibrate at lower vibration, right? So if you look at our politics, it's always contrasting. It's this person's saying this person's a horrible person, this person's saying this person's a horrible person. So it's stimulating and activating the lower chakras, the solar plexus, the sex, and the basic chakra at the tailbone. But if we were talking about sweet things, kind things, loving things, compassionate things, merciful things, it doesn't stimulate those lower centers. So guess what? People aren't so engaged. So that's why if you look at, and I'm on YouTube just as much as you guys are, I'm looking at all kinds of stuff because I like to understand sales, marketing, spirituality, and understand like how do I relate to as many people as possible. And when you look at things that are like reaction videos, or you look at so-and-so destroys so-and-so, those are lower vibrational energies. Uzi, namaste. Welcome from, your head has a little funny, little point on it. Maybe it's my hair, right? So when we have comparison and contrast, when we have right and wrong, when we have dark and light, when we have this big contrast, it tends to engage people more. But when you talk about subtle things, nuanced things, it kind of goes in one ear and out the ear for most people, because most people aren't aware of those subtle distinctions, and it takes time to develop that. The interesting thing is, so I grew up in a household that was a lot of heavy disease, congested energy. So my father was an alcoholic for many, many years, over 15 years. When my two older brothers and I moved in with him, he wasn't drinking anymore. And so that was like in the mid 80s. So he wasn't drinking anymore, but he still had the lower denser energy of alcohol in his system. And then he smoked like a chain smoker without, he did filterless Camels, which are really intense. Filterless Camels, really, really intense cigarettes. So my father's vibration in general was very, very low. It doesn't mean he was a bad person. It doesn't mean he didn't have virtues in his life, but his energy body vibrated very, very low. So to talk about high level, spiritual, abstract concepts, he couldn't understand it. He couldn't connect to it because his energy body was so heavy and so dense. And he was in Da Nang. He did 5 years in the Marine Corps, and he saw some of the worst aspects of the Vietnam War. So his energy body was used to vibrating very, very dense, vibrating very, very low, right? So when you talk to him about higher things, he couldn't get it. But you talk to him about lower, denser things. You talk to him about murdering and death and rape and violence and poverty and all these things. He could relate to it because his energy body was familiar with it. Does anyone know anyone like that? Anyone have any friends like that, family members like that? That you want to have a maybe an intellectual conversation with them, but they're not quite there. Or maybe you want to talk to them about personal development, they're not quite there. You want to talk to them about spiritual development, they're not quite there. It's not because they're not good people, and it's not because they, quote unquote, aren't interested in it. It's because their energy body is acclimated to or calibrated to lower, denser vibrational energies. Yep, you can relate to that father-wise. Yeah, I hear you. My father left his body in 2014 at the age of 72. And while being a very loving, a very kind man, a very generous man, he had a tremendous amount of trauma from Vietnam, a tremendous amount of trauma from his childhood. None of it was ever resolved. He got some therapy in his late 50s, early 60s, and by then, there's not going to be that big of a shift that's going to take place, right? Again, not a judgment against my father. He just grew up in an unhealthy environment. Then he went into war and did unhealthy things, and then he spent the rest of his life being traumatized by those things. So, again, what does this have to do with clickbait? The way they entangle us, they, as in the marketing world, the media world, YouTubers, influencers, is that they stimulate our lower chakras first, which gets us to, oh man, sorry for your loss, brother, and your pops is a hero. Yeah, he was a hero, and I'm grateful for that, thank you. We get entangled in these lower energies, so I'm encouraging each and every one of you that's watching the live now, or watching the replay, and please, if you get value out of this, share this replay with someone else. If we can be still for a moment and be aware and look at the headline, look at the images and go, is this person, is this company, is this organization trying to stimulate my lower chakras? And again, solar plexus, power. Sex chakra, lust and sexual desire. Basic chakra, money, materialism. There's nothing wrong with these things, but in most people, those centers are overactivated. And in most people, the upper chakras or upper centers are not so activated, right? So as my teacher, Grandmaster Chogo Koksui, would say, when he was developing Arhatic yoga helps somebody develop, has their development balanced. So you have big upper chakras, right? So you can experience great meditations, you have a loving heart, you have a power, you have an intelligent mind, but also to balance the lower chakras so you are more prosperous. You're more grounded, you're more practical. You have a thought and you can make that thought a reality versus either always being up here or always being down there. Does that make sense? So you want to have your, Jen, I'm a namaste, Oliver, I'm a namaste. You want to have your balance being developed. My friend, my third eye sees Trump and I like that, that's good. By the way, does anyone want to know, because we do these live streams occasionally because we want to offer value to people. Everyone's welcome. I don't care who you are. My only request, if I could make a request, is this cool? My only request is to be respectful. Respectful of me, respectful of the other people that are in the live stream, because I don't know, I don't really see much point of putting down other people, insulting other people, making other people feel less than. Like, I get it. The people that have a tendency to do that, they need energy. They want energy, right? Because they didn't get energy or attention or what have you from other people. So I get it. But in general, can we just be cool, calm, and collected? But a question to you guys that are watching it right now. Where is the third eye? The true third eye. Where is the true third eye? See, Oliver's making a joke, and I appreciate the joke, but you know, this is a stream about energy healing, meditation, practical spirituality. Most people would say here, right? Most people would say right here is the third eye. In Sanskrit, this is known as the Ajna or Agnya chakra, the master chakra, the big boss. This is like the Washington, D.C. of the energy body, right? It controls and regulates the prana or energies below it. Now, this is not the true third eye. The true third eye is actually right here. This is called the forehead chakra, or in Kabbalah, it's known as chokma. This is the true third eye. This is what allows you, or allows one, to see the energy world. It allows one to see the energy world, okay? And it's a very important chakra. This chakra is connected to wisdom. So when somebody says, I'm using my third eye to look at X, Y, and Z, this is what they're actually referring to, not here. I know they're right next to each other, but they are a world of difference apart from one another. I get all these other messages coming in while I'm doing this live stream with you guys. On the forehead. No, I appreciate it, Oliver. Yeah, all about good vibes. This is what we're doing here. This is what my purpose and my dharma in this lifetime is, to help people get a stronger connection to their higher selves. That's the purpose. Okay, so so that's pretty much our live stream. If you guys have anything else, throw out a question, throw out a comment. I'll stay on for a few minutes. Again, we talk about energy healing, meditation, practical spirituality, and just those three subjects alone could fill encyclopedias worth of information. You're very welcome. My pleasure. And again, my background is I've been doing this work since 2004. I've been helping transform people's lives using energy healing. My spiritual teacher is Grandmaster Choa Koksui, the modern founder of Pranic healing and Arhatic yoga. I'm a full-time energy healer here in Honolulu, Hawaii, and pretty privileged and honored to do the work that I do. And I love meeting all the characters online and offline throughout my day, throughout my week, and throughout my travels. So on that note, if you would ever like a healing session from me directly, go to innertransformationgroup.com and you'll find the programs I offer, the one-on-ones. You'll get a little bit more understanding about me. And if you got value out of today's stream, share it with somebody. I'm sure there's other people that could go with the good vibes, good peace, and have some more upliftment instead of division, and more division. We do so much division, we can harmonize. It's easy to divide things. By the way, the Ajna chakra is the chakra that divides, that separates, that dissects and cuts things up. Let's have a little bit more love, a little bit more harmony, a little bit more balance and coherence of viewpoints. It's actually interesting. My teacher, Grandmaster Choa Koksui, says there is no such thing as right or wrong. It's more about understanding. Because by one person's point of view, they're 100% right, and another person's point of view that could be opposing, they are 100% right. And by you saying you're wrong or you're wrong, it doesn't harmonize the conflicting factors. An intelligent person and a wise person meets the other person where they're at. Why do you have this viewpoint, this paradigm, this belief system, this whatever? And then as you go through the process of understanding the person, they will start shining light on their own maybe blind spots or ignorance that they have about a particular area of their life, right? So it's not about right or wrong, it's about understanding. And there's such a big tendency, especially in today's day and age, in the political arena with what's going on in the presidential election right now, is wrong, 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 right, right, right. And it's about understanding. And it's much more difficult to understand someone else's point of view than it is for us to say they're wrong and then let me shove my point of view down your throat. And I had a hard time with this, because even in my own spiritual practice of doing pranic healing, when I was teaching this to people years ago and sharing this with people years ago and inspiring them to meditate years ago, what was I doing? Pranic healing is the best. Pranic healing is the best. Twin Hearts meditation is the best. You need to do it. I mean, not to that degree of severity, but I had my own blind spots. And now it's like, hey, this is what I do. This is how I do it. If you want to know more, I'll do my best to show you and help you. And if you don't, that's awesome. Have a great day. Have a great evolution. Transform as a human being and as a soul. Add value into the world. You know, it's all good. It's all that in a bag of chips. Okay? So on that note, thank you very much, guys, for joining in. From my heart to yours, may you be blessed with divine light, divine love, and divine power. And we'll catch you on another stream later on in the week. This is Christian Long with the Inner Transformation Group, wishing you a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and a beautiful life. Atma, namaste. Bye-bye.